everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't already. I post every day of the week for a while. And for my returning subscribers, hi, how is everybody? I hope you guys had a great 2 weeks off without me. Well, actually, it was my 2 weeks off. I kind of was happy because I needed to take a break because I felt like I was getting really overwhelmed dealing with my YouTube channel and then doing all my Zoom meetings. It was just too much screen time, so I needed to take a little break for a while. And I was super happy I did because I got to sit down and relax and enjoy myself and just knit and then spend some time with my family. And that was good because also I went on vacation too. And I also had Wi-Fi on vacation, but I just decided not to make any YouTube videos while I was on vacation. So anyway, that's not really the main, that was just a quick, anyway, sorry, my tongue's twisted. Anyway, that was just a quick update. I'm going to tell you guys a story about how I made a mistake of telling the police I didn't know about a raft in the creek that belonged to my mom. So I'm going to get started. So this all started this summer. I graduated from high school. My mom had this raft and she named it On Vacation, and she put it in the creek so she could pretend she was on vacation as a joke because she couldn't afford to go on vacation that summer because she was teaching at 2 summer schools and she didn't get a summer off. So she had that in the creek for a few weeks and she pretended it was on vacation, being on vacation. But one day I was home, and I wasn't sure if I was home, and I thought I was home all by myself, and there was a knock at the door, and it's the local police. And so I opened the door and they asked me about the raft in the creek, and I didn't know if my brother or my roommate was home because my roommate at the time was a law school student. And I was a little nervous because I wasn't sure what was going on. And the police asked, do you know about this raft? And I'm like, no. And they're like, is it yours? I'm like, no. And then so the police officer left. So I call my mom, tell her what happened, and she's furious because she's so confused about the story. She goes, why didn't you tell the police it was my raft? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I don't know. I just got nervous. Did you get a phone? Nervous. And then at that point she just leaves my sister. She was at my sister's swim meet, and so she leaves my sister's swim meet. And then the people were coming by telling me that the police wanted the raft out of the creek. And so I told my mom, and my mom's like, Mena, I'll get it out when I get. So I call my mom, tell her what happened, and my mom's like, I'll get it out when I get there. And so my mom is home. After a while, my mom comes home, and she's like mad at me because I didn't tell the police it was her raft. And she's like, why didn't you tell the police it was my raft? I'm like, I don't know. I just got nervous. Blah, 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 blah. Why did you get nervous? Blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm like, I don't know. And she goes, was your brother home? I was like, I don't know. And she goes, and my mom calls my brother, and she goes, did you know about the police being here? And I'm like, no. And my brother's like, no, Mena didn't tell me. And so my mom goes, why didn't you get your brother? I'm like, I don't know. I thought I could handle it by myself. And she's like, but you didn't handle it by yourself very well. And my roommate, who is a law school student, my roommate at the time was a law school student, so I didn't know if he was there either. And she goes, did you get the roommate at the time? I was like, no. I'm like, why didn't you get the roommate at the time? Because he could probably helped you. I'm like, I didn't know if he was here because I thought he'd be at the library studying because he'd always go to the library studying because my house is a little bit noisy. And then at this point, my mom, and she goes, did you get a phone? And another thing is my mom asked, did you get a phone number from the police officer and the name? I'm like, oops, I forgot that. And she goes, why didn't you get a phone number from the police officer and his name? And I was like, I don't know. And at this point, my mom is just so frustrated that she goes into her bedroom and takes a break. It doesn't talk to me for, I think, almost an hour. Please ignore that. That's my dogs barking. And after that, after a while, she's calmed down and she takes me with her and doesn't talk to me for the whole car ride because she's still so frustrated with me. And then she doesn't even talk to me when we go to the swim meet either. So after a while, my mom had calmed down. That was good because sometimes if you're mad at somebody, it's good to take a break because she wasn't technically mad. She was just frustrated. And she was like, I'm sorry. She was apologizing because she felt bad for being really mad because I think it was just she was getting frustrated. And I apologized to my mom for making that mistake of not telling the police about the raft in the creek and saying it was hers. hers, and then she takes me home, and then she goes out for dinner, and she goes, I'm gonna call your brother, and then she calls my brother to go and tell him, and goes to tell him to take the raft out of the creek. And it takes my brother a while, and I'm super nervous because I couldn't remember if the police were coming back or not. Not, and so I wrote myself a a note to get the police officer's name and phone number for mom. And then so my brother comes home, I think a couple hours, like an hour or so after my mom had left. I think he was out, I think he had to go to work that day later. I don't remember where he was. So he goes into the creek and gets the raft, which is a good thing because the creek I live next to is very steep, and I have a fear of steep hills. So he gets it and pulls it out of the creek. And then I'm up for a while, I think until like 10 o'clock or something, to try and see if the police officer was coming back. So I told my brother to watch to see if he was coming back because I couldn't remember if the police officer was coming back. So I go upstairs to go to bed, and the next morning my mom finds the note and starts laughing at it because I don't know why. She just found the note funny, funny the very next day. She wasn't too mad about that she doesn't too mad about it that day like she was the exact day it happened. And that's the end of the story. So the moral of the story is, if the police come to your house and you know about something like a joke you're making, please be sure to tell them that it's a joke and let them know you know about it, and don't make the mistake of telling them you don't know about it, because you don't know what could happen. So that was my raft story. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day of the week for a while, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!